What up, all you worship peoples? Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Nate Meist, and I love equipping worship leaders with helpful and encouraging content. And today we're going to be going over a new one by Hillsong United called On Repeat. Let's get into it. Alright, On Repeat by Hillsong United. I believe this was released on January 20th, based off of their Twitter. But it's regardless, it's a brand new song. And I'm just so excited to see new content from them. I always am. I love that they use unusual phrases and unusual song titles, and it definitely makes it easy to find their songs like on Song Select and Spotify because they're just so creative with their song titles. And then it's not just like gimmicky either. It's like they tie in that theme so well into the song. At first you're like, on repeat, you know? Like I've heard that phrase before, like just, you know, in slang and, you know, talking with friends or whatever. But then to hear it in the song title, it's like, what is this about? And then you hear the song and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. This makes total sense. So there's three things we're going to be going over in this video today to help you learn this song on an acoustic guitar. The first thing we're going to look at is the key that the song was recorded in, the key that I'm playing it in, and how I'm using a capo to do that. The second thing we're going to look at are 2 strumming patterns that will get you through this entire song. And the third thing we're going to look at are the chords for each section of this song. As I play through the song, you will see these handy little chord diagrams up here in the upper right-hand corner that you can pause and study to see my finger placement for the various chords that I'm playing. And as always, don't forget that this video is segmented, so if you don't want to hear me talking anymore, and you just want to fast forward to a particular section of the song, you can easily do that by hovering your mouse over the time bar or clicking on a device and just scrolling to whatever section you want to learn. Alright, so key and capo placement. The key that this song was originally recorded in is the key of C. So what that would mean for your capo is fret number 5. So put your capo in fret number 5, and you play in the G position with standard tuning, and you will be in the same key that they recorded this song in. And also, you can still use the same chord shapes that I'm going to teach you today. Now for me and my voice personally, I found that the key of B flat worked the best, which is a whole step down from C. And for capo, that means that you're going to have your capo on fret number 3. And when you play in the G position, then you'll be in the key of B flat. That's a whole step down. And I was able to kind of really hit all the high points of the song well, not be like straining my voice, because there are some really kind of powerful moments in this song that you want to make sure that you have the bandwidth to hit. It also has low points too, like the verses, and especially the bridge goes pretty low because they jump up an octave as they build through those bridge sections. So you want to make sure that your range fits nicely, that you can hit the low parts nice and strong, and you can hit the high parts without straining your voice and with confidence. Say you wanted to play in some other keys, like maybe another popular one would be a half step down from this. That would be the key of A, and that would be capo number 2. Still using the same exact shapes that I'm going to show you today. If you wanted to, if you're like a belter and you got a range on you and you're like, but I still can't sing quite as high as the recording, you could go down just a half step from what the song was recorded in, and that would be the key of B, and that would be fret number 4 with your capo. And then using all these capo placements, you would just download your chord chart in the key of G. And then you could follow along with all the chords, the same exact chord shapes that I'm going to be showing you today. Alright, so for these 2 strumming patterns, strumming pattern number 1 is going to get you through all the verses. Strumming pattern number 2 is going to get you through everything else. So let's go over these. This is strumming pattern number 1. Once again, this one will be used primarily for the verses. So 1, 2, 3, 4... let's slow that down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down. And this is strumming pattern number 2 that will get you through the rest of the song, everything except the verses. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's slow that one down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. All right, verse number 1. The song doesn't really have an intro. It just goes straight into that first verse, and we're going to be using strumming pattern number 1 here. Let's do it. So 1, 2, 3. Every time I come running, I find grace on repeat. You welcome me with open arms, no matter where I have been. Every time I surrender, every time I fall, I find grace more precious than I did before. And into the chorus. Alright, chorus number 1. Then this is strumming pattern number 2. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna lay my world down here at your feet. Look to the heavens for all I need. I'm gonna sing my heart out, praise on repeat to the God who's never giving up on me. Into verse 2. Alright, verse number 2, back to strumming pattern number 1 here. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3. You're the mercy at midnight. You're the kindness of dawn. My hope in every waking hour, and the strength I lean on. Every time it comes to sundown, and the night sets in, let my soul remember just how good you've been. And again, my heart will sing. Into the chorus again. Alright, this is chorus number 2. They add an additional line lyrically at the end of this one. And this is strumming pattern number 2. Let's go over it. Alright, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna lay my world down here at your feet. Look to the heavens for all I need. I'm gonna sing my heart out, praise on repeat to the God who's never giving up on me. 'Cause you're the God who's never giving up on me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so as you can see, I kind of attached the little vamp that goes into the bridge at the end of that last chorus. They kind of hold the root note or the beginning note of the scale that you're in. In this case, it'd be B flat, or positionally, it would be G, which are the chords that I'm teaching you today. And so I kind of just attached that little instrumental, or vamp if you want to call it. It plays for 2 measures, and then that goes into the bridge. All right, so we have two different bridges here chord-wise. I'm going to teach you the first one now. Just like on the recording, they repeat it twice. The first time he sings it pretty low, down an octave, and then the second one he jumps up an octave. For the first one, I'm going to be playing all downstrokes, and then for the second bridge number 1, I'm going to switch to strumming pattern number 2. So let's go over this first bridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Grace upon grace, morning by morning, day after day will I sing. Praise upon praise, God be exalted over and over again. Grace upon grace, morning by morning, day after day will I sing. Oh, praise upon praise, God be exalted over and over again. Into the second bridge. Alright, so this is bridge number 2 chord-wise, and we are continuing strumming pattern number 2 as well. And they only play this set of chords, or this bridge, one time, and then they go into the final chorus. So let's go over it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grace upon grace, morning by morning, day after day will I sing. Praise upon praise, God be exalted over and over again. I'm gonna go straight into the final chorus. Alright, this is the final chorus. I have to play through it because there is like one chord difference from the second chorus that I already taught you. But let's just go through it anyway. So, final chorus, strumming pattern number 2 once again. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna lay my world down here at your feet. Look to the heavens for all I need. I'm gonna sing my heart out, praise on repeat to the God who's never given up on me. To the God who's never given up on me. Alright, so there you have it. That's our worship tutorial for today, guys, on repeat by Hillsong United. I like that the verse melodies are not typical. I mean, the melodies, all the melodies throughout the song are not super typical. Sometimes I will stay away from a particular song because maybe the melodies are a little bit too challenging for my particular demographic, in my congregation. It might be something that I feel like they might not catch on to that easily. But at the same time, sometimes it's good to challenge your church with new melodies, things that aren't typical, things that are out of the box and more creative. Maybe it helps them think about the lyrics more and actually what they're singing, and it's not just one of those typical CCM, like cookie cutter songs, and nothing wrong with those. Those are great, they're predictable. Sometimes you need a song, you need predictable melodies for people to easily latch onto, connect with, and sing in church. That's a good thing. You want songs to be very learnable. At the same time, this song I feel like is not one of those songs. It's not a cookie cutter song. It could be a good thing, could also be kind of a challenging thing, whether it's your band learning it or whether it's your church learning it. But it's up to you whether you want to incorporate that into your roster. But I hope that this video helped you guys. Hopefully it's going to help you pull this song off, maybe on an acoustic guitar. If it did help you, why don't you give this video a like and maybe even subscribe so that you don't miss future worship tutorials. I'll see you guys in the next one.